Hey, Mike Holmes here at reachkeep.com with 5 Minutes to Better Sundays. And today we're talking about the 5 things you've got to do on Easter week or the week preceding Easter. Welcome to the Better Sundays podcast. Focused, practical, and usable advice for church leaders looking to reach new young families and impact their community. You know, around the world it's called Holy Week or Passion Week. Here at our place we call it Busy Week. There's a lot of things to make everything go smoothly. I often think of when they were baptizing those 3,000 people there in Acts chapter 2, that someone was watching the kids and somebody was helping out with getting the towels and helping all the different things go on there. And those people are to be credited. And folks, it takes a lot of busyness to make a Glory Week. And we want to go from Holy Week to Glory Week. We want to see a lot of awesome things happen. So let me give you the 5 things that need to happen during the week, this particular week, as we come up towards the big Easter weekend that we have. So you may be having other services on Friday nights. People do Thursday night things, a lot of different things. But I'm talking about primarily what it takes to have a great Easter Sunday and have some guests come, help them to come to know the Lord and move them forward spiritually and turn them into returners and not just those Christmas and Easter people that we often think about. So here's a couple things. The first thing that you need to work on, and I'm working on these, so this is just absolutely real stuff. Number 1 is the sermon. Your sermon needs to be engaging and it needs to be well put together. Don't leave this to the end. You know, one of the major complaints that happens in America and maybe around the world, I don't know, is that church is boring with a capital B. Okay, they don't like it at all because it's not engaging. So think of ways that you can make your message more engaging. Now, this doesn't mean that you have to go Hollywood and things along that line, but there are many things that can be done that would help you to, connect with the people. And we have a series that we've done on this and how to make engaging sermons. And you can go back in our YouTube files and see that. That would be helpful to you. But take some time and really work on the message. Make sure that you have some type of handout notes so they can fill in the blank, because that helps with the engagement process as well. It gives them verses to look up later, and they actually write things down. So, and we have a YouTube video on that too, how to create good sermon notes. So take a look at those things. But number 1, make sure your sermon, you're prayed up and studied up and just ready to go on that. The second thing on mine is what I call visits and calls and contacts. This week will be a lot of contacting and a lot of visiting and a lot of texting and a lot of Facebook messaging and a lot of phone calls and a lot of just stop by the house, stop by the workplace, and give them that special invitation to attend our services. And these are primarily people who aren't coming to the service that I'm inviting. In other words, the non-regular people, but people I've met in the community. And you want to really work that good, because if, as the leader, if I'm bringing in a bunch of guests, I think that says a lot to our people. And our people will bring all sorts of guests. We have guests all the time that our people bring, but I want to be a leader in that. So I will start contacting them right off the bat and asking folks if they'd be my guests for one of our Easter services that we're running. So that's the second thing that is priority. That has to happen. The sermon is kind of a time when you really study. The guest thing, visiting, and all that is going to go on throughout the whole week. But create a checklist, take the names of the people you want to contact and give them some church information or a card or an invitation if you've prepared one of those that we've talked about, and have that ready for them. The third thing that I wrote down is just the building, the getting ready physically with your building and making sure things are ready. We have to have extra chairs that were set up with our kids program. We have a special program. We spent all afternoon today kind of getting ready for that. You want to make sure that you declutter. Okay, get the junk out. This is a good opportunity. If something's been sitting around for a long time, say, hey, let's spruce it up a little and move it out. Easter's coming. Let's make it look nice. And so get some of those things out of the way that shouldn't be there. In addition to that, you want to add some signage and things around that would help communicate what you want to communicate. the little panel displays that stand up, the little kind of plexiglass things. We put some of those up. We put our values in there. We'll put announcements in those about, upcoming programs, just so people, when they're walking towards a, auditorium or sitting on a table, it'll say baby dedication, June 11th, you're invited. It'll say those kind of things. So you want to make sure your building is prepped. So walk in with fresh eyes. Walk in thinking, how can I communicate best with my building? Is there some special decorations and things along that line I could come up with? But really, if you can put some panels up and announcements, we have the announcement sheets, little plexiglass things in our bathrooms, that we change out every week. We'll have those that talk about upcoming events, just so people kind of know what's going on. And again, take time to clean it really good and declutter it really good and make sure that you're ready. And if you need extra chairs, get all that stuff ready to go, and meet with your personnel who are going to be setting those up and taking those down. So that's just a very clear process. Easter is always a bigger a crowd, and so really you need to make sure that those folks are kind of ready for something that's a little bit out of the ordinary. The other thing that I'm going to be working on, and this is absolute key, is your bulletin and your announcements. Your bulletin and your announcements on Easter should be different. You'll have the regular stuff that's in there, but try not to have too many extra things. But if you're going to put things in there, make sure that you're announcing future dates of things that are important to people. Now, we reached a lot of young families, so people with kids are interested in vacation Bible school, summer camps, baby dedications, youth activities, those type of things. All of those will be published in multiple places in our bulletin. We'll put those on a screen that we have for announcements. In a lot of different places, we'll put those up. But make sure that you're ready and all those things are very well thought out. The other thing you want to have in your bulletin is when people are sitting there kind of waiting for the services, you want to have your values written out in there. What is important to you? So if you're saying we're having a youth activity in a couple weeks, you might want to not just say, well, we're doing bowling with the teens. You might want to say, hey, it's very important for us to help our teenagers get a grasp on life and get going the right direction. We want them to have some, godly and older mentors that they can follow, the right kind of heroes. And for that reason, we have this great activity coming up, a bowling activity, where many of our adults will be there with those teens, and your teens can grow and mature and have a good time at the same time. So you want to put your values in there. If you value community engagement, intimacy with God, active spiritual relations, missions, those things. You want to have those in your bulletin because it will go home and be read much more in a different way than your average day. So take some time with whoever produces your bulletin, if you do it, and really think through what would be the things we want to put in there that, really going out, and we'll have all our dates throughout the summer that'll be in there. And we don't have all the details, but we just have the dates that are mentioned. So a powerful, powerful thing is to make sure you're ready with that. Last of all, and it's kind of the thing that sort of happens after but needs to be prepared this week, is what we call follow-up stuff. So there's several areas of follow-up that you want to make sure that you're ready. We give out a gift card to all our first-time guests that come, a little Subway card, says, hey, thanks for being interested in your spiritual health. Here's something to help you, a good healthy meal for you at Subway. Go enjoy it on us. Have that type of thing. Have your follow-up cards ready. Any follow-up letters that you're doing. I have a letter that I'm writing, and it's, most of it's done already, but it'll be ready to go so that we can get those out. And then emails, make sure that you have a system to get emails out Sunday afternoon of Easter, because one of the most impressive things is when someone contacts you right away about something. If you were to go to a parts store, or you're looking for something online, or you talk to a relative about a family reunion or whatever, if they contact you like an hour or two later, say, hey, thanks for your inquiry about that. Here's some information, or I'm working on it, but here's my information. You can contact me. That makes a huge impression. And you want to make a great first impression, not only with, in the mail and just with a nice gift card, but just with a regular email. And I sometimes include links of different videos that we've produced that they could watch about our ministry, children's ministry, etc. So those are the 5 things that are going to happen. Let me go through them again real quick. Okay, your sermon engagement, you want to make sure that's ready to go. Visiting and calling, you'll be doing that throughout the week. Get that stuff ready. Your building, make sure it's, decorated, and you got panels up to kind of show what your values are, and everything's super clean and ready to go. Your bulletin, which then has your dates and values, those are the big things. And the last one there is just make sure that you're ready with follow-up. And if you're going to follow up personally, that those people are ready. They have literature, so on Tuesday night, however that goes, you're going to go out and visit those folks. So all of these things will help you to have an awesome Easter actually on that day, but will also help with what we've talked about in the past, and that is the idea of our goal is to have them return the next Sunday. And we're very, very excited, and that is what the big day we really look forward to. We're going to have 4 services here. We have a Saturday night Easter service. I know that's kind of weird, but we need to have it. A Saturday night service. We have 3 of them on Sunday, and a baptism. It's a very busy day for us, but our real anticipation and excitement is the next Sunday when we have some of those first-time guests come back. Folks, when guests come back that second time, it's just a wonderful thing. I think they're a little more prepared. They're not kind of like, whoa, what's going on? In fact, today during one of our services, we had a young man and his son that came into the service. They'd visited last week for the first time, heard the story of Christ, heard the gospel. Today, we did a powerful message on Calvary, and those 2 folks got saved. I have a meeting with them tomorrow. We're going to talk about baptism. But folks, second-time guests are so powerful, and that's what breaks the habits of sin. That's what breaks the habits of all sorts of problems, is getting them to come to Christ and then be faithful in a local church where they can grow and mature. And we want Easter to be that. And we want to reach as many people in our little community as possible. And I know your heart is for that as well. So make sure that you put your effort into all these things, and you have yourself one awesome Sunday. I want you to make sure also that if you haven't done it, and it's kind of getting sort of late now, but you can download the little freebie. There'll be a thing there on the bottom, how to have a great Easter. You can go to reachkeep.com, and we have a couple different posts up there that talk about how to have a great Easter. And then make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel there, because we're become over again. Once Easter's over, we got lots of things. In fact, we're talking about Mother's Day already. Another great opportunity. Summer ministries are coming. School year coming after that. Folks, there is no season that is not a good season to reach people for the Lord. They're all wonderful, and that's what we want to do here at reachkeep.com, is help your church be a flourishing church. So thanks for being with us today. God bless you, and have an awesome Sunday.